Hi, this is John, and I wanted to show you a way that you can tape your woods to get accurate readings with your Optishot simulator. I've been trying a lot of different things, and this method seems to work the best. I played around 2 nights ago at Marion and shot a 66 and used all my woods from driver through 7 wood, and I just want to go through the process. It's really simple. I want to go over the tape that you're going to need to do this and to have it come out right, so when you actually use it, that you're satisfied with the results that you're getting as far as what the simulator is actually picking up. So the first things I want to talk about is the tape. The first tape I want to talk about is the it's called ProGaff non-reflective tape. It looks something like this. As you can see, it's non-reflective. I got a light that's actually shining right at that, and you can see that it doesn't give off much reflection. This is really important. And what you're going to do with this tape, this one's ProGaff, it's gaffing tape, and you can buy this off Amazon, and they'll deliver it to your house within 2 days. It's really fast. So this is called ProGaff, as you can see. And it comes, this is a 2-inch roll, and this is great. This is good stuff. The other roll of tape you're going to need is made by IPG. Now, IPG is a company that makes this white reflective tape, as you can see. Now, this roll is almost gone, but this is a 2-inch roll as well. It's white reflective, and it's made by IPG, and that stands for Intertape Polymer Group. I believe I got this at the hardware store, but if you go online, but I would recommend trying to get this tape because it has a unique contour to the face of the tape. Even though it's reflective, it's not totally smooth, and I believe this is why it's so accurate, because it offsets the curvature, I believe, of the club head itself. So you'd want to get this tape. It's called IPG. That's the abbreviated. It stands for Intertape Polymer Group. It's made in the USA, and you're going to need that. All right. So I'm going to show you a series of clubs that I've already taped up. This is my driver. Okay, and just to give you an idea, what you want to do is you want to cover the entire bottom. You want to cover the entire bottom of the club head with the black non-reflective tape, so it's completely covered. You can see the face here. And I brought the tape right to the edge, so I'm not going to pick up any shininess from the bottom when I go over the sensors. The tape itself, I have it square to the face, about a 1/2 inch. I say it depending on what club it is, but this one's a 1/2 inch. I wanted to take any of the curved edge out of it, and I also want this in line with the shaft. Okay, that's very important as well. You want to make sure that this shaft is in line with this white piece of tape. Now, this white piece of tape is about 2.5 inches in length and 1 inch in width. So it's a 1 by 2.5 strip. Okay, like I said, the entire bottom of this club is covered with the non-reflective tape. It's real easy. This is my 5 wood. This is an FTI square way wood. Very nice. Again, real simple. Just cover the entire bottom with the non-reflective tape. And you can see on this one how I got the tape right at right on the bottom of the face there, just to prevent any false readings, and I just put it through. So it took a couple of strips on this one. So 2 strips of the 2-inch black covered the entire bottom, and then you can cut it off to fit your club, so it ain't, you don't want it on the top, really. You don't want to see too much tape up here, but. And I did my 3 wood. This is an FTIZ Callaway. And I did my RBZ 7 wood. This has a slot in it. So I was, on this one I was sure to make sure it was over past the slot here. And again, just square it to the face. There we go. There's a better picture. And again, you don't want tape on the face, but just make sure you got it covered on the bottom. Okay, now the other thing I want to show you is with your irons. One thing I did with those to make sure that I was getting an accurate read, and what I did is I took a little piece of the black tape. You can see it here. I just cut off a strip the length of the shaft, and what I did is that I ran it right down the shaft, and what I wanted to do is have a perfect rectangle here. I wanted it about a ½ inch from the face straight, so I had a nice straight line parallel to the face, so when it went over the senses it was picking up a perfect shape. I know some people don't tape their irons. I find because this is curved along here that sometimes it might give a false reading. So if you tape it and you just have a perfect, perfect square surface there, shiny surface, it makes it a lot more accurate. So I do that with all my irons. It's easy. What I do is I rip off a piece of the 2-inch black tape, and then I rip that in half, and I can actually use that piece for 2 clubs. So I'll use tape here, and then I'll grab another one and do the same thing. Okay, so this process is pretty simple. So I got my black tape here, and all I'm going to do is cut off I'm going to just tear it. Pretty simple. I'm going to start from the front. So basically I'm going to start on the front edge, and I'm just going to make sure I got that covered up nicely. Put it down in place so you can see what I'm doing here. Let me turn this around. So I'm just putting it right over the club. I'm stretching it nice and tight, so you don't want any air pockets. Pretty simple. Just smooth it out. And then fold it down on the face. So basically, my first strip, if you look at it, I put my first strip down, and I got the face still nice and open so I can hit the ball, and I got that down. So now this is a pretty big club. This is the Big Bertha 460, so it's probably going to take three strips of the 2-inch. So I'm just going to tear off another piece, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to overlap about 1/8 of an inch. You don't need to overlap it much. Just make sure it's overlapped a little bit. this is pretty good durable tape. It's pretty strong. I guess it's used for staging and covering up wires and stuff like that. But okay, so there's my second piece, and as you can see, I still have a little bit here that I need to cover up. So this piece doesn't need to be all that long. So here I'm going to just rip off a little bit smaller piece. And this tape is real easy to tear. You really don't need scissors. I'm going to cover up that last little bit. Like so. So you just want to make sure the whole bottom's covered. I still got a little bit of shininess there, so I'm going to make sure that's covered as well. This is a pretty sloppy job, but you get the point. You just want to make sure there's no shininess on the bottom. So this club right now is completely covered, and now I can put my white tape on it. Now that's pretty simple. So what you're going to do is I just take my white tape, I rip off a piece, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that you square it. And once you tear it, and I just put it on the block. So I'm just going to put this white piece of tape on my cutting block. Now they do sell reflective tape at the hardware store. I've tried that, and I was not happy with it. So if you go down that road and you find that, you know, you're getting some bad reading still, it might be the white tape. This tape I bought. I don't know why I bought this tape, but I bought it at one time, and I tried it, and it actually works pretty good. And I've had no misreads at all with it. So you can try the other tape, but I would recommend that you don't. All right. So anyways, so what you're gonna do now that I got that on there, I'm just gonna take my ruler here, and I just want to cut off these edges that I tore and just make them nice and straight. Just using the straight edge. Okay, so I cut that off, and then I'm going to go 2.5 inches. Okay, and the nice thing is this thing has lines on it. The tape has actually lines in it that's reinforced, so you can makes it easy to measure and just cut. Okay, so this is what I got left. So I got a 2 by 2.5 piece of tape right there. Okay, now at that point I'm just going to cut that in half, and I can use that for 2 clubs that I'm taping up, 2 woods. So I'm just going to cut that right down the middle. You know, measure, make sure it's as perfect as a rectangle as possible. I'm just guesstimating here, just for speeding it up. So what I did is I went down with my blade, and then you can just peel it off. So there you go. So I got 2 pieces of white strips, and I'm going to apply that to the club. Now, like I said, I'm going to go about a half inch from the face, but I want it in line with the shaft as well. And so I'm just going to take it. On the drivers, you can make them a little bit longer because they're bigger heads. You can actually go 3 inches. This is 2.5. I think I might have went 3 inches on my driver, but you'll get the point. But anyways, there you go. Just try to keep that as perfectly square as possible to the face. And there you go. Nothing to it. And you're going to be very happy with the way these, how the sensors pick this up and give you a nice play, and all that frustration you've probably dealt with when hitting your woods will go away. So let me see, is there anything else I need to cover? That's pretty much it. So all I did was use a paint scraper blade to cut my tape. You know, like I said, just make sure you get the right tape. And that's about it. Good luck with it. Have a good one.